In the recent Gotham Chess versus Fausti match, the online world was completely confused as to who was the favorite, but early on it became clear that Fausti, only 10 years old, was a force to be reckoned with. Let's look at one of his most fantastic tactics from that match. Now, in this position, Fausti is black, and commentator me, was guilty of looking only at this bishop blocked by the pawn, but Fausti saw more, most likely the strength of this rook. And after bishop to d2, his rook came alive after rook to c4, and watch how this bishop becomes a hero. Now the rook is forking both of these pawns. We were in store for an electric finish. After bishop takes knight, relieving some of the pressure on this pawn, and pawn takes, Gotham Chess decided to move the queen back and keep the pin on this pawn and hope for bishop takes h6. But Fausti was wise to that, got his king off of the g file, and after rook to c1, he started collecting pawns. Notice he captured this pawn because he wants this pawn to be able to move one day and free the bishop. After bishop to e3, then the rook goes to g4. Oh, I think we all see what's coming. The rook is lined up with the queen and the pawn, which of course leads to the king. That pawn is on a light square. This bishop is no longer blockaded after d4. Now, Fausti is completely winning, but there was a super exciting finish we could have had. After Gotham meekly put his queen over on h3, then d4, discovered attack on the bishop and this pawn at the same time, and there's really not much that Gotham could do. He tried rook to d1, an interesting idea to pin this pawn, but after bishop takes g2, he actually resigned in this position. Gotham gave up, but I want to show you a cool way that this game could have finished. It almost looks like after queen takes bishop, that white could try to fight on, but after rook takes and takes, instead of allowing this pawn to just simply be captured where a rook and a bishop may be able to fight well against the queen, there was actually a couple of ideas. Now, there's the boring method, queen to b7 check, and when the king moves, you take the bishop. However, Fausti, being such a masterful tactician, I'll bet you he would have played pawn takes bishop. That is the ending we wanted to see, which allows the queen to be captured, and then the pawn goes to e2, and an entire white army cannot stop this pawn. The rook can't get back to d1 because it just gets captured. Of course, the king can't get to that square or that square. Black would, of course, make a queen, and queen versus rook would not be a hard win for Fausti in this position. Fausti actually won on demand in the final game to take the match to tiebreak, won the first game of the tiebreak, and the 10-year-old kid, the youngest kid ever to get to 2300, beat the world's largest chess YouTuber. Do you hear a rematch coming? I do.